It's there, beneath the stench of this place. You can sense it.
There are things even you should fear, horseman. Once you were strong, but now you are weak and you are alone.
I can grant your every wish.
Can you restore the balance?
The Destroyer knows of your coming. Even now, he moves his legions against you.
Then I'll make this quick.
Helgon, to arms!
Slay him!
Perhaps we can strike a deal.
You won't like my terms.
War. Are you here to play executioner?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 180 of the Gamers in Beta podcast. This is your host, Captain Mike M. And recently, people have been throwing out awards, and I'm happy to tell you that we have won the Best Podcast Festivus Award. More details soon.
And this is Jay, aka Maniac17. We've been Warmastered this week, and that's something we'll have to talk about later.
Joe State here. I am officially in the business of you pick 'em, I stick 'em.
Nice. What's going on, gentlemen? Joe, I think you made an appearance at the Festivus. Can you believe this?
I know. I even broke veg and everything.
So I got to get your honest opinion. I was a little nervous. The other guy's like, "Oh, Joe won't care." I was a little nervous you were going to get upset. But what did you think of the photos and your representation in them?
I thought it was hilarious. Very, very funny. Could have done without the meat, but you know, whatever.
That's why I held that one. That's why I held that one off until RoboPig brought that up. I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that one."
The picture with the large gut is pretty accurate. If only it was tattooed up, you know, that'd be spot on.
So we had a great time last night at Kowloon's. There was about 8 of us, besides Jay, myself, and Corey, Juggler of Geese, otherwise known as Brian Young. He was there. Dave, Good from Gaming / RoboPig, he was in attendance, and of course, Gamer Goalie, another Dave, and his friend Dalton, and Dave's wife as well. So it was a lot of fun. We drank a bunch of volcanoes, which I guess are these fruity drinks. What are those things? The
Overpriced fruity drinks.
Scorpion bowls. That's the word I was
Scorpion bowls. There we go. Yes.
Dude, I'm so down to drink some of this.
They're like $25 a pop.
Yeah, I won't go there and get them again. Oh my God, that was ridiculously expensive. I mean, geez, we had how many? 9?
7 of them.
7. We had 7, and we were sober. Or at
Were they
least
just
I was.
in large bowls, or were
Right,
they in
yeah.
pineapples that had the tops cut off and
Large
all that?
bowls with a lot of ice.
Bowls with a lot
I'm trying
of
to
ice.
focus on the positive here. Jay wants to bring the show down right off the top and
Well, no, I
get
just.
cheap about the price.
Well, no, the reason I say that is because everybody's like, "Oh my God, you guys must have been hammered," and we're like, "No, they were expensive drinks. They were good. We had a good time. We enjoyed having them, but you know, I don't think any of us was really all that hammered afterwards."
Corey kept saying that he was full and tipsy. I think that
Yes.
scotch did him in, and then he dumped the scotch into our first Scorpion bowl.
Yeah.
But
Jay would have probably preferred his beverages digitally.
No, I had Mike had no idea what it was. It was an Irish coffee.
Is that what you finally got?
Yeah, I got my Irish coffee because I wanted a coffee. So, and Joe, do you know what Irish coffee is?
Isn't it just like a coffee with Baileys in it or some shit?
Baileys and whiskey. They skipped the Baileys and only put whiskey.
It didn't even look like coffee. It looked like Coca-Cola or something.
Oh, it's coffee, and it had Jameson in it. So,
But yeah, the food was good. The laughs were plentiful. And
oh yeah,
for those who haven't seen the pictures online and aren't sure what we're talking about, I did a little. I should say my wife did mostly did the arts and craft project. It was my idea. I cut your face out. She did the gluing and all that type of stuff. But we had a little mask of Joe, and we got him in as many photos as possible to include him. And apologies to Sean. We don't know what you look like, buddy. We haven't seen any photos of you, so I couldn't.
no,
I couldn't sneak you into the pictures. Maybe
we
next
got your
time.
voice, but not your face.
He should have got his ARC avatar or something. I'm out of my head for this one, guys.
But yeah, it was an excellent time, and I'm glad that a bunch of people showed up, and we'll look to do that again. I'm not sure if it's going to be a full year. Maybe we'll do it every 6 months. Who knows? We'll see what the appetite is out there.
We got to go during the summer. We got to do a summer one. Go into Boston sometime and do a pub crawl.
Summer outing.
Yes.
So you can wear your jorts.
Huh?
Yes, your jorts. You're not a shorts guy at all. You pretty much even wear jeans in the summertime too, don't you?
No, I wear shorts in the summer now.
Oh.
When I was younger, I never did, but now I do.
Now you show off those legs.
Well, yeah, because they're sexy.
Ladies, look out. So one of the benefits of meeting up last night is we were able to record a live version, or I guess all the versions are live, but a live in-person version of the beta test. So we're going to play that in a little bit. But that is very humorous. 2 teams of 3. And Dave's gamer goalie's wife was the lovely Vanna White for the night. She kept the official score. And Corey was our game show host. So that is pretty humorous. And we'll play that, like I said, in just a little bit. But let's get into some of the news items. There was lots of awards thrown around because the Game Awards happened. Jeff Keighley's self-funded show. It seems like it's getting bigger every year. And let's get into some of the winners, shall we? Game of the Year. I think Joe had a vote with this one. This was Overwatch. Interesting to be a Game of the Year for a game that does not have any sort of campaign. So it shows you now the power of multiplayer, that a game, like I said, with no real campaign whatsoever to speak of, would get this lofty award. Joe,
Or even really a story at all, right?
I don't even know yet. I don't even know if there's any sort of... Is there any sort of story at all, Joe?
There is story. You have to watch they put out a lot of supplemental videos, kind of like Team Fortress 2 did, where there's little vignettes and everything, and all those kind of things kind of help piece together the story.
I don't think it was a shock. I don't think it was a shock, the award going to them. I thought it would be between that and Uncharted 4. I really thought it would be the 2 games that it would come down to. I thought it was a surprise that Titanfall 2 was in there. Inside didn't really surprise me too much because usually there is like an independent game in there sort of to balance things out. And Doom is certainly good enough to get a nomination, a nod, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Now, they also, looks like Overwatch won a bunch of other awards, too. Best Game Direction and Best Multiplayer. So they definitely cleaned up. Let's see.
Yeah, as opposed to Doom, did not have a good multiplayer. Wah, wah, wah.
No, that was what turned me off on the whole Doom thing. When they
that beta, when they put it out.
Oh, yeah.
It set everybody up for a real surprise once that game came out.
Yeah, but unfortunately for them, they lost a lot of sales because of it, because the actual campaign was great, but the multiplayer was... some people liked it, and most people that we know didn't, so...
I think they've done all right sales-wise. I think they've done okay. Best independent game. I was a little disappointed that Firewatch didn't win, but no shock that Inside won. Now, Inside, I don't think any of us have played Inside, right?
No, I didn't. I didn't even realize it came out. I mean, I guess I wasn't paying attention that week, so...
Oh, yeah, that was a big deal when that came out.
Yeah, I should have grabbed it, but I think that it'll probably end up being a Games with Gold or released on PlayStation there, so...
I don't think it's out on PlayStation yet. It's coming there, but I'm not
No.
sure.
I have a feeling if
that,
it does, it may come as the PS Plus game, maybe. You think that would?
It's got a chance. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depends on how the two sides come together and deal with the...
Right. Yeah.
They could say, no, we don't want it because we know it did so well on the Xbox. Just let us bring it over and reap all those sales, you know?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Stardew Valley or The Witness didn't actually get it. Those games were hyped.
Yeah, Inside had the most hype, to be honest. Inside was really a...
Yeah, I guess you're right. That did definitely
all the clever
blow
kids
up.
really loved Inside. Let's look at some of these other ones. Best action game, that's where Doom comes in and grabs the award. Tough competition there. Battlefield 1, Gears of War 4, Overwatch, and Titanfall 2. You know, I could definitely see Doom or Battlefield 1 getting that. The others, I think, would be kind of a stretch. I think Overwatch probably didn't win that one because they won some of the other ones.
Let's talk about how...
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Let's
all
talk
right.
about how foolish it is that Street Fighter V won Best Fighting Game.
Yeah, I don't know much about fighting games anymore. Those other ones, I mean, didn't Killer Instinct Season 3 just sort of come out? Like maybe in the last 2-3 months?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, Dishonored 2 won Best Action Adventure Game.
Right,
And that just came out like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean, Street Fighter V is supposedly it has very, very, very solid fighting, but that is overshadowed by all of the other complications it has. So I don't know. It feels like it shouldn't have won based on principle, but I guess if you're just basing it on the fighting alone.
Oh, did it win because maybe it was the most popular? I mean, how well did King of Fighters and Pokken Tournament do? You know, those... I wonder what what is the quality for winning best fighting game? Is it, like you said, best mechanics, or something that the most people were playing? Wonder if there's some, like when you elect someone into the Hall of Fame for like a sport, there's guidelines that you have to follow. Like, they let in this categories. They had, there's a character clause that they were a good person. They didn't, do drugs and were an asshole and things like that.
Well, I think with the fighting games, though, there is a dedicated following to fighting games. I mean, people get really in-depth on it, and I think that's probably why you saw the winner that was picked, because, that was the one that really resonated with that group. So, which would make sense. Those are the people that are going to be playing it. For me, I don't really understand it, but
Well, we're going to have some more fighting news in just a little bit.
yeah. And then, did you mention the music?
Let's see. We have here for music, Doom won again, best music sound design.
Did either one of you see the performance they did after that with the Doom music? The musicians?
I was watching the Game Awards with no sound because I was doing the 40 cast. I just saw those jerk offs running around. I was like,
yeah, you've got to go and check that out. That was freaking badass because it was the music from the game. It was great. I loved it. So now the other two ones were terrible, but
other people seem to like the other two ones. I don't know. To me, I listen without sound, so I'm not a good judge to tell you. But what do we have here? What do we leave off? Best action adventure game. The winner was Dishonored 2, and like Joe just said, that's a little weird because it just came out. But hey, it's within the year of 2016, so anything and everything, I guess, has to be considered. Scratching my head a little bit as Uncharted 4, I think, probably. I mean, I haven't played Dishonored 2, but from what I'm just hearing on the social media side, some people are enjoying Dishonored 2, but it doesn't seem to be as widespread as Uncharted 4. So that's curious. But Uncharted 4 did pick up some other awards. They won Best Narrative. Best RPG was The Witcher, which is sort of strange because The Witcher's been out for a while, but this was for the DLC, Blood and Wine. What do you think of that, Jay?
I thought that was great. I didn't think that DLC was eligible, but I mean, maybe that one's they graded that one differently because I mean that was the length of a lot of normal game campaigns, just the DLC itself. So, and it was very different. It was a completely different story from the about the rest of the game. Of course, that one has multiple storylines in it. That's why it's such a good game. But I was glad to hear that.
Yeah, that's something I need to get back to, definitely. And
you haven't finished those?
I didn't finish. The Blood and Wine so far has not captured me like the other two. I played this first DLC, and of course I beat the main game, but I have not finished Blood and Wine. I had to do that. I think where I left off is you had some sort of quest that you had to do for this guy, like a competition, because he was in love with some girl, and he was trying to win her back or something like that.
Yeah, they had a couple of things that were slow in the beginning, but then it gets excellent. It's my favorite. That and the Bloody Baron are my two favorite storylines. The first one you hit, and then the last one were my favorites. I think they both had the most depth to them. So,
a few more of these here. Most anticipated game: The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. A strong competition there. I mean, Red Dead Redemption 2, Mass Effect Andromeda, Horizon Zero Dawn, and God of War. I mean, all solid games, but I guess the Zelda one is probably the closest to coming out besides Horizon Zero Dawn. I think actually Horizon comes out before Zelda. And
I would have picked that.
What, Horizon?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was coming out before that, though, because I haven't seen a release date on it yet.
That's February. I think that's mid-February.
Yeah.
I think Zelda is also kind of affiliated with the Switch, and so the hype for both of those things kind of...
Yeah, well, it's coming on Wii U also, correct?
Yeah,
but they won't come out at the
honest.
same. Won't come out at the same time. It will come out at the same time. It's not going to come out early for the Wii U.
Right. That's right. It got pushed out. It's not going to be at the launch for the Switch. So.
And the last one here that I wanted to sort of mention for Joe's purposes is the best mobile handheld went to Pokemon Go.
Yeah, it's a solid choice.
Now, I've seen some people...
And best family game.
It has won that as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you still playing that? I've seen some people have abandoned that.
Oh, every day. It's an everyday thing.
Really?
Yeah, man. I'll talk about that later. Don't you worry.
Alrighty then.
Let's get into some of the announcements that came out of the Game Awards. The Walking Dead Season 3 is going to premiere on December 20th. There's going to be 2 episodes. They said the premiere is so big that they have divided up into 2, and those will both be available on day 1, again, December 20th.
And here's the question. Are they going to charge you individually, or is you buy the first one and you get both episodes?
I mean, most people usually take advantage of buying the season's pass, those, right? Because you save money.
Yeah.
There's been no...
I've just gotten to the point where I wait until they're all out, and then I buy them because they usually have a sale, and I want to wait anyways, so... I don't like waiting for the next
yeah, they're not as spread out as they used to be. They come out pretty quick now.
Do they? Yeah.
Yeah. At least the Batman and Minecraft stuff came out very quick. I think the Game of Thrones one was very spaced out.
Yes, yeah, that one.
But there's been no mention yet, Jay, about pricing. Let's see. Next, Mass Effect Andromeda. They finally released some gameplay. And it looks pretty impressive to me. It looks like you're going to be playing as the Pathfinder, part explorer, part soldier, part guide. And it's going to be a big hit, no doubt. Mass Effect people are a cult of their own, so to speak. And what I watched...
Chomping at the bit.
What I watched...
Shout out to Los.
Yeah, Los and Larry, Blue Man Rule, all big Mass Effect people. Still no mention if there's going to be a multiplayer in this at all. But what I watched from the trailer to me looked pretty awesome. Did they get a release date from this yet? I can't remember if this has been tied down. I still think it's somewhere into spring 2017.
I don't think that's
what they're saying. We had the Bulletstorm full clip.
I was so hyped for this, and then realized it's just a remake, and they're charging full price.
Yeah, it's a remaster, right?
Yep, they're doing a remaster. Yeah, not a remake, a remaster. And they're adding a couple extra maps, and if you pre-order, you can play as Duke. And I'm like, okay, but I thought it was like the second iteration game, a whole different game, but it's just a remaster, and they're charging $60 for it. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And the biggest, really surprise was that Randy Pitchford is going to be putting it out.
Yeah, we announced that a while ago.
Yeah.
And, I'm not sure how long ago, a couple months ago, whatever, that Gears would be publishing it. And shame on us last week when Corey and Sean and I were discussing what Randy could be teasing. I totally forgot that they were going to be publishing the Bulletstorm there. So
Yeah.
it is a remaster. It's not a remake. Full price does seem a little weird, but
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. Do we have any idea exactly, if there's going to be new content in it? I know that the
They
add-on...
said new maps, so because they had like the challenge maps where you go through, and
Right.
how you get certain kills and you get points, and you actually would rack up points, and that was what gave it a lot of replayability. And I really loved the game. I mean, I was pretty hardcore into it, and I still am. I really enjoy it. I'll pick it up, but I'm going to wait for it to go on sale because I don't know. It just.
So it's going to be on PlayStation 4, Windows PC, Xbox One, out April 7th, and it will feature 4K resolutions for the PlayStation 4 Pro. The add-on is titled Duke Nukem's Bulletstorm Tour, and it includes a completely new voiceover track from John St. John, the original Duke Nukem voice actor.
If you pre-order.
Shovel Knight, something you were into, Joe?
Oh yeah, it's a good game.
So their next chapter is called Spectre of Torment. And, of course, that was shown at the Game Awards, and that is a prequel to Shovel Knight.
Oh, I haven't
So
seen
instead
that.
of the little blue hero, you'll be features the villainous Spectre Knight.
Alrighty then.
That's badass.
It's a game that many of the clever people like to play. There was some new gameplay of Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. I'm sure you guys have seen, not this most recent one maybe, but you've seen other trailers for this game or screenshots. Is anybody getting concerned about the art style? There seems to be like a haze or a fog in this game, or the art style, I should say. Is anybody... You know what I'm talking about? It doesn't seem as... It definitely seems vibrant, but it has something...
It's still compelling. I mean, that's one of the few Nintendo games that I'm interested in checking out and playing. But I think because of, we don't know how powerful the Switch is going to be, and they were designing it to run on the Wii U, so they have to do something. They probably have that kind of, in most games they would call it a film grain. Is that kind of what you're talking about? That hazy, film grainy look?
It's definitely, whoever's doing the art, a group of people, it's definitely their own art style. But yeah, it's got some,
right.
For a lack of a better term, like up in the clouds type look. Everything's kind of wispy and wavy, and a little bit of fog, haze, and things of that nature.
Yeah, so you don't have a big draw distance on it too. So
Yeah, I don't think it's really detracted from me. I can't say that I've ever even really noticed it.
So you're still hyped for this then, right? Definitely?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to play it.
Let's see, what else was some big announcements? Guardians of the Galaxy. Telltale is working on yet another franchise. And that will
Wow.
all right, I'm going to put it out there right now. Are you guys burnt out on Telltale yet?
The only Telltale I've done is The Wolf Among Us. So
Oh, that one was great.
The Batman stuff I got to get back to. What I played of that was fantastic.
I've heard.
Burnt out, I mean, you could say the same thing as anything else, right? I mean, Telltale sure is putting out these style of games, but EA's been putting out, the Battlefields and sports games forever. Activision's been putting out Call of Duty and their stuff forever. So I guess it's really no different, except that Telltale just gets different franchises, right? So it feels like...
But the gameplay is the same all the time. It doesn't really change much, does it? It's still point and click and quick time events, right?
Yeah, I mean, it changes a little bit from game to game. There's some different mechanics, like the Batman game has a completely different mechanic than, say, Walking Dead. But yes, I mean, they are, walking narratives, point-and-click games.
Yeah.
Story-based type stuff.
Has the engine improved with like using Batman as a reference compared to like the Walking Dead, the earlier Walking Deads? Has the engine improved? Because man, it was getting to a point where it was pretty horrible there. So
yeah, I think the Batman stuff is seems to be better. Is it a new engine? I wouldn't be able to speak to that like maybe some people could, but to me it seems to run a little bit better.
Okay, I'll have to try it. I do have the first episode. I think it's free on Xbox. I'm not sure if it still is, but worth taking a look.
Just scanning some of the other items here. I think the last thing is really Rocket League's getting a Starbase Arc add-on. So Rocket League is going to space along with the pigs and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Jump on the shark?
Don't know. They got to keep pumping stuff out, keep people interested.
They do.
I think this is coming out December 7th, so just a few days.
What about moving on to another one here, Lawbreakers?
Okay, what happened there? I didn't see that on my list.
It was a world premiere. They showed some gameplay and said that it'll be out next year. Joe, any interest in that?
Yeah, I'll play it.
And that's still only PC, right? They didn't announce anything of consoles, right?
No consoles. And then how about this one for the two of you? A question for you. Prey. Any interest?
Well, we got that in the news later, so let's circle back to that.
Alrighty then.
Okay, come on, guys. Let's talk about the Death Stranding trailer.
We should talk about the Death Stranding. Before we get to that, Jeff Keighley made a very passionate speech announcing Kojima there. So there was definitely a strong bond, let's put it like that, between the two of them. And then they played the new trailer, and I still don't know if I know what's going on, but it looks a little cooler than what they showed last year, right?
Yeah.
At E3.
Naked ass, fucking stupid, whatever his name is.
Norman Reedus? Norman Reedus, exactly. So this time had Guillermo del Toro.
Yes.
Almost looked like in a Jim Sterling getup, right, Jay?
Mm-hmm.
With the black suit and red shirt.
Yeah,
and
it didn't click until you said that. Yeah.
And he's got the Jim Sterling could do cosplay for this, like right out of the chute. Just grow
right out of the chute. Yeah.
Just grow a little beard there, and he's got there's sort of soldiers going above or some sort of army, and he's like underneath this bridge with a baby in a jar.
Some kind of container, hermetically sealed.
Some villainous guy there that's looks like he could potentially be a badass. I mean, the game looks farther along than I thought it would. I'm sure it's still many years away.
I would agree.
But the artwork, I mean, at least what they showed us was head and shoulders more than I thought we would see just a few months later from E3.
Is he using the engine? Was it from Gorilla? I can't remember. I saw an article somewhere that he's working with their engine or something like that. So. And Gorilla is a Sony
right. First party.
Dev, so first party. So, they probably worked that out so he can use that engine and stuff. It looks really good, and like I said, it seems like he's got more together than he thought he would, but I still don't see this coming out for a couple of years.
What did you think of it, Joe?
I thought it looked crazy.
Crazy, I have no idea what this is, but I want to play it now. Like, I want to
that
dive.
Kind of crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Kojima's brand of crazy, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that giant tank just dropped intestines out of it? Why does that tank have intestines? That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy just took off his goggles. Now his goggles and his helmet just dissolved, and then these guys have skull faces. Okay, that's pretty awesome. Yeah. Whatever.
It's Kojima crazy.
It's Kojima crazy. He's got a brand. I don't know. Yeah. It looks pretty cool. I'm totally into checking it out. Why not?
Yeah. I want to see more.
Does it look a little less Asian influence to me? It doesn't have like the Metal Gear look to it, right? It's got its own look, and it doesn't have so much of the, typically what he's done. Would that be fair or no?
I'd say it's more cinematic from what we can see. More like horror, sci-fi, cinematic. It's got the bad guy from Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it's going to be a while, but it definitely, he's got a lot of stars in it for sure, right? He's got a lot of, the guy comes across kind of meek and timid, but maybe behind closed doors, just a great, charming guy. He's got a lot of friends in a lot of high places, so people gravitate to him. And I think it's probably not just for his games. He must just be a really cool, chill guy to hang out with, so to speak.
Yeah, man. Maybe they just really like his pictures of his food.
or his maybe he's got his own tanks with guts in them, and they just all drive them around.
And then there's one last one.
Okay.
What's it called? Dauntless? It was a Dauntless world premiere.
Jay, you're not reading the planner, Jay.
I am.
You're skipping down to other news items.
Well, then forget it.
Okay. We're going to get to Dauntless.
I'm sorry, I'm terrible tonight.
We're going to get to Dauntless and Prey in just a little bit. Yeah, that was really it for the Game Awards. Just looking at the Twitter feed, it seemed like people generally felt like it was an improved product from last year. Some people were still a little turned off with the ads that were in the show. I think there was like some robotic razor that was making periodic appearances in the game, in the broadcast, I should say. And I think they also had like a couple correspondents this time around. I don't know the guy's name, but he's in that show, The 100. One of those guys that was sort of towards the end, because my wife and I and Jay watched the finale of The 100 last night. So that's where I remember seeing him from. And there was some other, usual industry talking heads that were doing behind the scenes, or let's check in with the most recent winner type stuff. Usual Game Award type stuff they had. But from what I saw on Twitter, people said it was a much more improved product and not so cringeworthy as last year. Let's move over to the PlayStation Experience. So this was going on in San Francisco. I usually think the awards and the PlayStation Experience happen in the same city on the same weekend. They're sort of married together, the two events. So this was over Saturday and Sunday, so it ended today. And they did about an hour-long keynote yesterday announcing a bunch of games. And let's just get right into those right now. A new Uncharted game called The Lost Legacy. Jay, you're going to be busy if you want to stick to your guns and say, I need to play these things in order so I know what the hell is going on.
I better get my ass moving.
Yeah, so now you're 4 games behind. So The Lost Legacy is not going to be a full-fledged Uncharted game. I think if what seems to be online is accurate, people are comparing this maybe to Infamous, The First Light, which is sort of a standalone game that came out after Infamous Second Son. So sort of think of it in those types of terms, maybe somewhere around like an 8 to 10 hour game. And it's going to star Chloe Frazer from Uncharted 2 and Nadine Ross from Uncharted 4. So both characters are females. And there was a 7.5 minute early scenes, a video that they showed from early in the game. And again, that's another one that looks pretty far along, and that is going to come out in 2017. So they've been working on this for a little bit. I think some of this might have came from Uncharted 4, and they said the story was so good that they just didn't want to squeeze it into Uncharted 4. They wanted to make it its own experience. So look for that sometime next year. Any of you guys Uncharted? I know, Joe, you are a PlayStation guy, but have you played much of Uncharted?
I've only played the first one in the Uncharted collection, so I started very, very, very beginning of the second one, but there were other games out at the time that I really had to get into, so it kind of got pushed to the side.
Right, so this doesn't move the needle much for either of you then. Let's move over.
I think it looks great, and I think it's something that's going to be interesting. I just have been way behind the ball on this one, and I need to get on it, and I'm wondering, should I just go right to 4 and play that?
I never played, I never played 1 and 2. I played 3 and 4. I don't think there's a lot in there in 4 that you need to know the other ones. Mm-hmm. But, it's always one of those things. You play 4, you get so spoiled, and then you go back, the opposite way.
Right.
You might be like, well, shit, 4 was really the best, and now I'm sort of playing, how they historically got better over time in reverse order. So, but I think 4 is outstanding.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, everything I've seen, I just haven't played yet. So I think this new one looks interesting. And does it look like they kind of have like challenge maps or something like that?
I couldn't tell. I mean, I watched the 7.5-minute video, and it just seems to be, typical Uncharted stuff. It's deep in story. Walking around, exploring, but still going on some sort of linear path to where you need to go to. It looks fantastic. I mean, it's 7.5 minutes of just all actual gameplay. That's not cutscenes or anything.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a cutscene at the end once you get to your objective.
More pirates.
Yes.
There you go.
The Last of Us Part 2. This is a game I know Jay has played. Joe, have you played The Last of Us?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. So this was very powerful watching this. Didn't show you a ton, but they did show you that Joel and Ellie are back. We're not sure if they're going to be in the game the whole time. Who knows? Maybe Naughty Dog kills them off in the first 10 minutes, and then you get some other characters. But
move on.
Joel looks a little older. Ellie looks older as well. And Ellie looks pissed off. She's playing her guitar, singing some Johnny Cash-esque folk song. And,
Sweet guitar licks.
Yes. And when Joel walks in the room, he sort of presses her and says, "Are you really going to go forward with this?" And she is quite determined to seek out revenge against whoever has wronged her. And she promises to kill them all. And in wherever they are, it looks like they're at some sort of Firefly camp. I'm not sure if that's who she's talking about killing, but whoever was at that camp is dead. As they walk through the rooms, the camera goes through the rooms, everybody is dead on the ground. So maybe she has already, gave some revenge to her enemies at this point and is seeking out more. But they say this is very early stages with their new engine, so I'm thinking this is probably another 2018, 2019 game. I don't think this is coming out at all in 2017.
Good. Take your time. Make it count.
Yep. Let's move over to some fighting stuff, Jay, that we talked about just a little bit. Instead of Marvel vs. Capcom 4, it's now going to be Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is now back on the marketplace for PlayStation 4. It's been missing from both consoles since 2013, and it's now back on the PS4.
Alrighty then.
A free game came out yesterday from Suda51 and Grasshopper Manufacture. Think of Lollipop Chainsaw. Those are the same people. And
cool.
And what was the other game that he put out before that was just as fucking strange?
I don't remember. He has some weird shit, though.
Yeah. A Suda51 joint. Let It Die is now on the PS4, and it is free. And they're describing it as Dark Souls meets a futuristic punk, with a futuristic punk motif. This is...
I'm out.
So, the interesting thing about this game is they say, much like Dark Souls, you'll die a lot. However, unlike the punishing games created by From Software, Let It Die puts a spin on death. Every time you die, your death data gets uploaded to every other player, and you become an enemy in their game. Well, Jesus, they'll have a lot of enemies of me kicking around in their game.
Yeah, they would.
But like I said, it is free now, and it also has remote play support on the PS Vita, so you can try it on both systems. Are you into any of the Grasshopper games at all, Joe?
No, I can't say that I am.
Yeah, well, I can't remember that other game he had. It was on the 360, and I assume it was on the PS3 as well. It was a really, a weird game.
Don't know.
I'll have to look that up.
I don't know.
They also did Sin Mora, which is not a weird game. Shadows of the Damned. That's what I'm thinking of.
Never played it.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. Let's see what other stuff that was announced. Crash Bandicoot, the remastered Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Any of you guys into Crash?
I had a lot of fun with them back in the day.
Yeah, that's
I never played them, so I'd have to. This would be an introduction to me, for me, I should say.
Yeah, so it's going to be a trio of games, and it's going to come out sometime in 2017.
The first two were good. I don't remember playing the third one.
Sparrow Racing, Jay, did you like that? I'm not even going to ask Joe about Sparrow Racing.
I played it a few times, and I enjoyed it, but then it ended, so that's about it. And then they've had it, the past few times they've had it out, I didn't even go in. It's not anything that drew me in that I had to play.
Yeah, so The Dawning comes out for Destiny on December 13th. It will bring back the competitive racing event from last year with new Sparrows and new tracks. The update will also add the requisite new weapons and gear, as well as decorative items like masks, shaders, and emblems. And I think that's coming to PlayStation first, if I'm correct.
I believe that is the setup for them. They usually release on PlayStation first.
Mm-hmm. There was a new trailer for Horizon Zero Dawn. Again, that's coming out soon, early 2017. That looked fantastic, so I am getting hyped for that. Windjammers, is that something you're interested, Joe?
It's
Frisbee flying Neo Geo game.
So it's like, it's a fun game, but it's mostly got this cult following based on Giant Bomb.
Right.
Because Jeff Gerstmann he loves that game, and Dave Lang is he's a character, and he's always on Giant Bomb, and he was involved back in the day with the development team for Windjammers, and so everybody's always like, "Oh, when are we gonna get a new Windjammers, Dave?" And he's very adamantly always said, "You guys need to fuck off, no." And apparently, it's gotten far enough to where its cult following will make them some money because it's coming here.
Yep, coming to the Vita and the PS4. And Joe, when you get your new PS4 at some point, or get the PS4 Pro, you'll also be able to play the new Resident Evil 7 demo. So this is in the third phase now. So I think they released Tape 1 and Tape 2. And now they're releasing the last version of it, which is disappointing. Is I don't know, can you play all three of them still, or is it just updated and you no longer can play like the first of it? Does anybody know that? Because I know
no idea.
When I fired up my PS4 today, it said Resident Evil 7 updated, but I don't know if there's like something that you can go in there and bounce between all three, like this, like a menu that says play Tape 1, Tape 2, and then play the final tape. I'm not sure. Or if they just all build up as one big demo. Someone will have to let us know. But that is coming out January 24th for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And again, it has VR capabilities as well. You can play the demo, the kitchen demo, and things like that. But supposedly you can play the whole game in VR too.
I wonder if anybody's ever figured out what's up with that mannequin finger.
Huh?
That was the Resident Evil 7, the last demo. Everybody was freaking out because there was like this mannequin finger that looked like it had a key, and nobody could figure out what it was for, and it had all this like crazy conspiracy theory stuff going on, and I wonder if anybody ever figured out what it's for.
Maybe that's what the update on it is for. So
someone will have to let us know.
Yes,
I'm gonna have to fire it up and see if you can play all three. So I will let you know. A launch title for the PS4 is getting a sequel, Knack 2, which had many people laughing because it was more of a tech demo than an actual compelling game. But it looks like now it's going to heavily feature co-op online play. So it's a brawler / platformer. Looked pretty cool on the PS4. So the PS4 Pro got an update, so it even looks better. And Knack 2 should improve upon all that stuff. I think Mark Cerny is still heading that one up. He's the sort of system architecture for the PlayStation 4 and Pro, but he also made this game as well.
Now, with Knack 2, do you think they'll back it down a little bit? Because that was one of the big complaints. It was hard, right?
I didn't finish it. It was sometimes it was hard. I don't
know anybody that finished it.
I think my son might have finished it. but I didn't finish it.
Well, that beats the hell out of it being too hard to play. Then a kid got it.
Well, he could have maybe adjusted the levels. I don't know if it had like a easy mode or something like that. A game that I enjoy a lot, but has sometimes made me sick, is the Wipeout franchise. Wipeout 2048 was on the PS3, and they're bringing a trilogy coming out called the Wipeout Omega Collection, and that's coming to the PS4. That's going to feature Wipeout HD, Wipeout HD Fury, and Wipeout 2048. There's actually 9 games in the
Holy crap.
in the Wipeout franchise, but they're bringing 3 of them into this Omega Collection.
I remember playing the first 2 back on the original PlayStation, and then when PlayStation 3 did that settlement and gave free games out when their PlayStation Network got hacked a long time ago, one of the free games was Wipeout HD, and so I ended up playing it then. But
that's the one that made me sick. Wipeout 2048 actually launched for the Vita, but Wipeout HD was the one that made me sick.
Yeah, that one it didn't grab me kind of like the first 2 did, but maybe it was just because I had changed as a gamer.
So it's a futuristic racer. What would you say? It's like tube racing a little bit? I don't know. It's got, gorgeous backgrounds. It's known for its, soundtrack and things like that, and, fast speeds and things of that nature.
Futuristic bobsleds, man.
Yeah, something along those lines. And let's see if there's any other pertinent stuff here that would grab people's attention. Some people are into that Dreadnought game that's coming to the PS4 later this year. I think the last one we'll talk about here is from Housemarque. They're working with Eugene Javits, who worked on games like Defender and Smash TV. And their next game is called Nex Machina. And the trailer for this looks pretty badass. Looks right up my alley, sort of a top-down twin-stick shooter. Like, of course, like a lot of the good Housemarque games are. And I just see lots of beautiful neon on the screen and things getting blown to bits. So I will be chomping at the bit to get this as soon as this drops. That looks a lot of fun. All right, well, let's get into the beta test. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on.
Yes.
They're putting out a 20th anniversary of Parappa the Rapper, and I just need that to be said out loud.
Oh, that's right. Parappa the Rapper.
Yeah, you can't forget that.
Parappa the Rapper, and then Patapon and Locoroco, which I never played Locoroco. Patapon was pretty good, but Parappa the Rapper, that is a game that I love.
Never played any of them.
I actually tweeted about how I wished that they would remaster it all the way back in February, and then after this announcement, there must have been like a hype bot or something that went back through everybody's old mentions of Parappa the Rapper, and so it got retweeted the day after this announcement came out, just to make sure that people like caught on with the hype or something. But yeah, pretty weird. But either way, like, I'm super stoked on it, and as soon as I have a PS4 again, I will definitely be purchasing that, because when you have a flat screen TV, even if you have an original PlayStation, you cannot play Parappa the Rapper successfully because there is input lag. So unless you have a tube TV, you're doomed.
Interesting. So you're hyped for this then?
Big time.
It seemed like a lot of people. It seemed like just the listening or watching the keynote delayed, watched it today. People were flipping their lid on a lot of these things. There was a lot of fan service going on with a lot of these announcements, which is good, I guess. Give people what they want. They keep coming back and buying more. So, the Naughty Dog stuff, those are the huge games for them. What's interesting to me, PlayStation seems to be killing it with their first-party stuff, but the problem always is one of these things is going to come out, But, if I put a new Uncharted game, a new Last of Us, and Horizon Zero Dawn, everybody likes to, the console wars and things like that. What are you putting those up against on the other side? Crackdown 3? What else are they working on, Jay?
Let's put The Last of Us up against the Scorpio launch.
Yeah, pretty much. I really can't think of anything that. I mean, something early we missed was Halo Wars, but I mean, who cares about Halo Wars 2? I mean, there's a niche audience for that, I think. And if I'm wrong, give us a holler. But I think there's a niche audience for that. You know, exactly that. But that's one of the few I can think of. Crackdown,
Scalebound.
they canceled Siphon Filter, right? Yeah, the Scalebound looked interesting, but now I don't know. I've regained a little bit of interest in it, but it hasn't really piqued my interest. And yeah, that's about it. I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I mean, the Gears, has come and gone. They didn't talk to Halo 6 hasn't been announced at all, right?
No, we probably won't see that for a couple of years. But I mean, you look at the Game Awards. I mean, look at all the world premieres, or even just things. I mean, they were pushing Gears.
Yeah, so I mean,
Gears and Dead Rising was about the only thing. Yeah, that's coming out. What, in a couple weeks?
For the Xbox, and just touching this briefly, you get Scalebound, Crackdown 3, and Sea of Thieves in 2007.
Yes, Sea of Thieves, that's what we missed, yeah.
In 2017. I know the PlayStation ones aren't coming out all in 2017, but just Horizon Zero Dawn, another Uncharted, another Last of Us. It just seems to be more compelling first-party stuff for me on the PlayStation side. But let's take a break here. Let's play the beta test live from the Red Roof Inn in Saugus, Mass. Hopefully the audio quality is up to snuff. I got to work on that as best I can. But enjoy this beta test, and then we'll be back in just a little bit with what we've been playing.
And remember, we are 7 Scorpion Bowls in.
All right, welcome to the first live taping of the Gamers in beta test. All right, give it up, everybody. I'm not alone.
Hey!
Wow, that was weak as fuck. There are a lot of people here.
How can you live tape?
Live tape? Fuck you, you're doing it right now. That's how you're doing it.
David's digital. So I guess it's actually going to be a explicit lyrics or explicit language.
Yes, not safe for work. Not safe for work. All right, this is being recorded live behind Kowloon in are we in Boston? Are we technically in Boston? Saugus, kind of Boston, semi-Boston, I guess. All right, so what we're going to do here is we have a game. We have a hotel room full of people. Thank you, Red Roof Inn. We'll plug you afterwards. And so what we're... Yeah, you're right, I did.
How about thanking the guy that rented the room?
Listen up. Okay, yes. Plug yourself.
Hi, Juggler of Geese. Known everywhere as Juggler Geese. Bye-bye.
Thank you for renting the room that we're using right now. All right, so what we're going to do, we have two teams of 3 for this beta test. What we're going to do is first we're going to flip a coin to see who goes first. Host of Gamers in Beta, Mike Mahoney, will you please flip the coin? You're going to flip a coin to see, would you like to call it first?
Heads.
All right, now flip it. You call heads.
Oh, I gotta flip it now.
Now you flip it. We're all a little drunk if you haven't been able to tell.
Oh.
What is it?
No, it didn't land on the bed. It didn't land on the bed. No.
Controversy already.
There you go. Tails. There you go.
It is that tails? It looks like a tails. There's a lady doing something on the coin.
That's tails.
It's not a clear heads. All right, and here, as my Vanna White, would you please introduce yourself?
Sharon Gardner.
Thank you, Sharon Gardner. And we have 2 teams here. The team on the right, that team will be known as My Balls, and the team on the left will be known as My Dick. So the team on My Balls, who is on My Balls? Please introduce yourself.
This is Captain Mike M.
J, a.k.a. Maniac 17.
Juggler of Geese.
And who's on My Dick?
Dalton.
Edie Sellers.
Dave / RoboPig.
All right, so we got a game going here. All right, so here's how it works. We're going to go back and forth. It was tails, right? You lost, so My Dick goes first. So what's going to happen is there are 6 questions in each round. First round, all the questions are worth 1 point. Next round, all the questions are worth 2 points, and then 3 points. All right, so we're going to go back and forth.
Can I go pee?
My Dick goes first. No. All right. All right, so you guys need to elect a captain. They will be giving their final answer a la Millionaire style. Who's their captain? RoboPig is their captain.
RoboPig is the captain.
I was pointing at Dave.
I know, but he pointed at you first. So.
This guy's passed out. The Skankon's passed out.
All right, so what's going to happen is I'm going to give you guys a question. You'll discuss it amongst yourselves. Give it to him. He'll give me the final answer. Okay. All right, So what's going to happen? I haven't even told you how this game works yet, have I? So these are user reviews, Steam user reviews, and we know how great those are worded usually. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to figure out what game these people are reviewing. So it's either a Steam user review, Amazon user review if it's not on Steam. So I'm going to read the review, and you have to tell me what the game is. You guys understand?
If I tell you you're my favorite gamer and beta's host, do I get special preferential treatment?
Maybe, but I can't technically say that before we start. All right, are you guys ready? You shut your mouth. All right, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right.
You ready?
Okay, so the first user review is worst, spelled W-R-S-T. This is all in caps, by the way. Worst than the first mission with another boring plot and regurgitated missions. Much rather play GTA 5 than this sandbox ripoff. Discuss amongst yourselves.
Watch Dogs 2? Yeah, I think Watch Dogs 2. What do you think, Watch Dogs 2? No idea.
Hey, speak louder. This is a podcast, you assholes.
Scancon, speak up.
I have no idea.
Okay. I'm thinking it's got to be something new. Open world, Watch Dogs 2?
Oh, by the way, all the games in this game came out this year.
Yeah. I would say Watch Dogs 2, they RoboPig.
Give it a shot. All right, Watch Dogs 2.
Watch Dogs 2.
Good answer! Good answer!
Correct, by the way.
Yes!
1 point for my dick.
Shut up.
1 point for my dick. My dick is on the board. All right.
Please. I think I left a mark.
We're gonna move over to my balls now. All right. Are you guys ready? My balls, are you ready?
Yes.
Mike, you're closest to me, so I'm gonna elect you team captain. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Will you captain my balls?
Yes.
Okay. The game review says, I found this game to be too violent. I couldn't continue with it after about a half hour after seeing the boy beaten to death and mauled by dogs.
You know what it is, right?
No, what is it?
Madden.
My dick better shut its mouth.
Inside.
All right, go ahead. He says inside. Inside.
Inside your final answer?
Better be.
You guys are correct. You're also on the board with 1 point. So my dick and my balls.
That was the middle ball.
Ball.
My dick and my balls are tied now. So we're back over to my dick. They're my dick, right? Yeah. Am I not confusing that? Okay.
Nope.
All right. So the user review for you guys is a game where you shoot bullets at other bullets who are shooting back at you with bullets. All these games came out this year, yes. Do you need me to read it again?
Bullets don't come out this year?
No.
Don't help them. I got a third nut.
Talk up. Speak up. Speak up.
Bullets shooting at other
Tower
bullets?
of Guns, I'm guessing.
No, that was last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah. Bullets.
Came out on
It's got to be something.
console.
All right, I'm going to read it one more time. A game where you shoot bullets at other bullets who are shooting back at you with bullets.
Bullets shooting bullets. Oh boy, that's
I guarantee you people who are listening to this right now are screaming the answer at you.
yeah.
You have it.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to rely on the captain of the team. Maybe
All right, 3 seconds. I need an answer.
Battlefield 1, maybe.
We'll say Tower of Guns.
That is incorrect. I'm sorry. That is Enter the Gungeon. Enter the Gungeon. Anybody played Enter the Gungeon? Yes. Okay. So no points for my dick, unfortunately. Aaron.
Played it. I don't even know what it's on. Is that on Nintendo?
No, sir. It is not on Nintendo. Okay. Back over to my balls. All right. Now, this is the user review. Okay. Pretty much sums it up. I'm on the fence about buying it after renting it and playing both betas. PS4 people should rejoice because if you'd played it, if you'd played the first, you'd be disappointed big time.
Betas. Titanfall 2.
Did they have two betas?
Yeah.
It's my call.
Titanfall 2.
That is correct, sir. Titanfall 2 is correct, and my balls take the lead.
What?
Dungeon.
Enter the Gungeon. You never heard of Enter the Gungeon? It's one of the best indie games of this year, man.
The guy in the sink has not heard of that.
That would be Joe Stick.
Listen, that guy...
He's not playing. He's just observing.
Actually, I bet that guy's screaming into his headset right now. He loved Enter the Gungeon.
He's very stubborn.
All right, so back over to... You're my dick, right? Okay. Back over to my dick. Here we go. Here's the review. Now, listen carefully. I guarantee you'll get this. No meaningful story, no inventory, no QTEs, no weapon carry limits, no reloading. It's a goddamn masterpiece.
I think there's a key word in there.
I think I missed it then.
Okay, I'll read it one more time. No meaningful story, no inventory, no QTEs, no weapon carry limits, no reloading. It's a goddamn masterpiece.
No Man's Sky, Captain. What do you think? No Man's Sky.
All right, we'll go with that.
Ooh, I'm sorry. That is Doom. Doom.
Didn't play that one either. Sorry.
What? Get the fuck out of here, Headlander.
Doom has no reloading. It's just constant.
Yeah, no reloading in Doom at all.
I did not play that one, Jack.
It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. All right, so
I'll go back to playing the original myself.
which also has no reloading. All right, so we're back over to my balls. This is the last question that's worth 1.
Okay.
So
we're ahead 4.
all right, so what is the score here?
He counts like a dick.
2 balls, 1 dick.
I'm so glad you're my Vanna White, by the way. Okay.
As it should be.
Last question, my balls. All right, this is the last one worth 1 point. Is there anything this game does well? Assassin's Creed does better climbing. Gears of War has better cover shooting. And the bland Indiana Jones story is worse than the Crystal Skull.
Uncharted 4.
Uncharted 4.
I think that's a
Uncharted 4 seems to be unanimous. My balls is correct again. My balls is correct again.
Yeah, Uncharted 4 was very disappointing.
You agree with this reviewer?
Uncharted 4 was very disappointing.
You've been drinking.
Really?
No,
Very much, yes.
He wrote that review.
I know you paid for the room, but you can kindly leave.
Okay, so those are all the ones that were worth 1 point. So, Vanna, what is the score?
You know what I mean?
3 balls, 1 dick.
All right, so
I'm intrigued by.
all of these are going to be worth 2 points.
Okay.
Alright.
And we're back over to my dick.
All right.
All right.
We're coming up a little short tonight.
Yeah.
You guys all
Say it again just to make sure it picked up.
We're coming up a little short, my dick. Sorry.
All right, here's the user review.
I don't think so.
You can definitely pick this up in the user review here. Over 500 puzzles? More like one puzzle 500 times. The most interesting thing about this game is getting my money back from Jonathan Blow.
Jonathan Blow, 500 puzzles.
Was it called The Witness?
It might be. I didn't play The Witness. Skank Hunt, did you play The Witness?
No, but I'm thinking The Witness also.
Skank Hunt says The Witness, so...
All right, we'll go with The Witness.
Boom, my dick is correct with The Witness.
Way to go, Skank Hunt.
2 points for my dick.
You just got a purple head.
My dick surges ahead. No. My dick ties it up, actually. All right, over to my balls. Are my balls ready?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. Here is the user review. In flanking position, 90% chance to hit. Miss my target. 10 out of 10.
What?
And all these games came out this year.
Yeah, finally, right?
Reread.
Okay. In flanking position, 90% chance to hit. Miss my target. 10 out of 10.
Skyrim. Remaster.
Oh no, there was somebody
I'd say Battlefield 1 if you're in flanking position.
No, but there's something with the percentages being off and you don't get to hit. Was that Madden? Or what one were you playing, Mike?
No, that's not Madden.
No.
Into the gun.
I'm going to need an answer here.
Total War Warhammer.
Ooh, sorry. That is XCOM 2. XCOM 2.
Would you like the Jeopardy soundtrack after a certain point? I have that.
I might be able to edit that in post, actually. So no points for my balls that time. I apologize. That was XCOM 2. All right, moving back over to my dick.
The dick and the balls are even now.
All right, my dick. This is the user review. It's very short. I found a turtle. I named it Turt Reynolds. 10 out of 10.
A turtle. Minecraft?
This year, because it could be this year.
What come out with a turtle?
Is Ark this year?
It might be. I never
Ark's
played. I never
definitely-
played Ark
Ark's got
either.
Turt Reynolds.
Skank Hunt.
You look way too comfortable. Sit up. Get into this game. Come on, man.
Skank Hunt. You're not thinking right now. You're
These
sleeping.
mattresses are comfortable.
Turt Reynolds.
I'm just thinking, what game has a turtle?
What game has the turtle? What game has animals in it?
Ark does, but I don't know.
Frog.
if
No,
it's
Frog is not new. That's like 100 years old.
I'm going to need an answer.
I don't.
We'll go with Ark. We'll try Ark.
Oh, sorry. Incorrect. That is Firewatch. That's Firewatch. Turt Reynolds?
I don't remember a turtle.
If you find a turtle, you can name it, and one of the names you can name it is Turt Reynolds.
Come up with some more games that we've
I
never
guess I
ever
didn't
played
get
before.
that.
It's not my fault you don't play video games. I'm sorry. I'm
You know how
just
to play them, but we have.
saying.
Exactly.
Okay, Vanna, can I get a count on my dick and balls?
Headlander.
We have a tied score for my balls in my dick.
At 3 each, correct?
Correct.
All right. My balls and my dick. Somebody's got to take the
How many
lead here.
questions are left?
A lot.
Okay.
All right, here we go. I'm looking at you guys. You guys better get this.
Your balls?
Yes. No, yeah, you guys my balls. All right. I gave a guy a soda, and he gave me his pants. I'm one step closer to saving New York City.
The Division.
The Division, definitely.
The Division unanimous?
Yeah.
Correct with the Division. That's
Except it would have been water, not soda. They don't actually give soda in the Division.
this motherfucker knows what he's talking about.
You
All right.
that one, you too.
Is it still 2 points?
That's 2 points. Yes, 2 points for my balls.
My balls.
I just played it the other day and gave somebody a bottle of water, so I knew that.
For your pants?
It was another piece of clothing, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Question back over to my dick. All right. This is a long one, so stay with me here.
Dicks are getting fucked. Just.
Well done. I'm going to edit in a round of applause for that.
This isn't genital.
The balls are getting caressed. The dicks are getting fucked.
All right.
Just throw that out.
That's the dick's own fault, I think.
Wow.
All right, here you go. Listen up, Dick. This company, all right, this is a user review. Not from Steam. I'll give you that. That'll be a clue here. Not from Steam. The company who made this game is a CIA front who has absolutely no respect for its customer base and is outright corrupt. Every update adds minor polishments, I guess that's a word, which do not solve problems, and they don't even have a working tracker. This company does not care for anything destroying their game.
What was it?
Pokemon Go. Tracker.
I never played Pokemon Go, so it's probably what it is.
Do you do a podcast?
I don't play every single game that comes out.
Not about video games, though.
That was funny.
All right, so
It's only because I love it.
I'll go with you, man.
Okay, Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go is correct. So 2 points for my dick.
Dick just got a pants. Thanks.
All right, and you got it from the tracker, right?
Yeah, my kids.
So do I. It's a good game. All right, and we're gonna move back over to my balls.
Is that a board game? No.
And the question or the review is this. Oh, I'm a little drunk. I'm gonna fall over. This game is boring and has much time cinematic that remind me of what I saw in The Order 1886. Remedy flop with this game.
Quantum Break.
Mm-hmm.
Quantum Break.
Quantum Break is correct. 2 points for my balls.
I didn't even play it, and I knew that.
I played 1886.
Well, Remedy was a big hint. That was the big hint for that
I
question.
just returned Mike's to his without even ever putting it in my PS4.
So we're about to jump into the third phase where these questions are worth 3. Before we do that, what's the score?
My balls is at 7. My dick is at 5.
It's anybody's game here still.
Dick's
Anybody's
come
game.
up a little short again. Huh? Right now, my dick's at 5.
I think you're sabotaging this game just for the jokes.
That's what we do.
Okay,
God, I hope this records.
my dick. Here is the user review.
We can add 3 to 5 right now, right?
Correct, this is for 3.
Okay.
Why is this set in space? Because nobody on Earth wants to play it.
Advanced Warfare. Is that the name of the new COD?
Ooh, yeah, Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare.
What do you think, Skank Hunt?
Sure, I didn't play it.
Do you have it? You bought it though.
Yeah.
Have you put it in?
No.
Have you installed it?
No.
So what are you saying? You played
We're going with Infinite Warfare.
We'll go with Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare, final answer?
Yep.
Bing, correct. My dick shoots ahead of my balls and takes the lead.
Yeah, that's right.
Brian's gonna be sleeping outside.
My dick takes the lead with 3 points. All right, my balls, come on, we gotta cover my dick. All right, here's the user review. This is short and sweet. I was dying to play it. Now I'm just dying.
Arc.
No.
No? Okay.
There's no explanation of the game.
Arc's not new either.
Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
I'll read it. I'll read it one more time. Think about it. After I give you the answer, you're gonna remind.
He gives you the answer.
I was dying to play it. Now I'm just dying.
7 Days to Die? Is that the name of that game? Mike?
Well, that is a game, yes.
I'm gonna need a.
7 Days to Die or Battlefield 1? What do you want to
Ratchet
say?
and Clank.
I'm going with 7 Days because of the...
What?
7 Days to Die.
Sorry. No points there. That's Dark Souls 3. I was dying. You die a lot in that game. All right.
that fucking game.
I know that one was not easy. I'm sorry. Just like Dark
I
Souls
see
3.
Jeff Green playing it a lot.
Okay, back over to my dick. All right. I tried to assassinate someone, but the only thing that was murdered was my frame rate. Stephen Hawking runs better than this game.
Frame rate. What had a bad frame rate? What had a bad frame rate? What had a...
Quiet, my balls.
Jeepers creepers.
On PC. Game on PC.
Stephen Hawking.
Oh, man. Yeah, there was something that had a bad frame rate. I can't remember what it was.
All right, I'm going to read it again, and hang on every word. I tried to assassinate someone, but the only thing that was murdered was my frame rate. Stephen Hawking runs better than this game.
Murdered sole suspect. How about that?
No, is it Dishonored 2 did that? No.
There was something with a bad frame rate, but I didn't play it, so here we are.
Did you play any games this year?
I did. I played Oblivion.
Yeah, it's fucking retro.
Oh, Oblivion! It came out 5 years ago.
It's backwards compatible.
Wait, that longer than 5 years ago. Skyrim came out 5 years ago. Okay, I'm sorry. I need a final answer.
Remastered.
Would you say Murder Soul Suspect?
Incorrect. I'm sorry. That was Dishonored 2. Somebody did say it. You said it.
That one either.
Okay, so there are 3 questions left. I need a score update here.
We have my balls at 7, my dick at 8.
Ooh, my dick's just got an inch on my balls.
Just a tip.
Okay, so we're over at my balls now. Okay, there's 3 words. I didn't know. There's 3 words to this review. 3 words to it. Procedurally generated disappointment.
Oh my god.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, this could be
I'm
No
gonna go
Man's
take a
Sky.
dump.
You are correct with No Man's Sky, so that is 3 points for my balls.
Every
Be proud of that one.
Every
That was
game
thrust
they
up.
got, I
Thrust.
played. Every one they've got, they played. I played.
Oh, say that again?
I need to be on a different team because all the questions on this side here with my scrotum, I've played.
So you're blaming your team. Would you like to blame lag too?
Don't be a dick over there.
Hey, that's mine.
All right, 2 questions left. Over to my dick. All right, now here we go. Oh, this one's difficult.
Dick is gonna get the shaft.
All right.
Seriously do.
This game is the worst in the series. It has a new mechanic that's the worst, and I hate its dumb, stupid face because it's not a PM game.
Premenstrual?
PM? Is that like something you play in the morning or at night? P?
This one's not easy. I'm sorry. This is one of the more difficult ones.
What is PM in gaming?
Might as well read it again to us.
Yeah.
This is the worst in the series. That's a major thing here. This is the worst in the series. It has a new mechanic that's the worst, and I hate its dumb, stupid face, and it's not a PM game.
No idea.
Hang on, I want to record his piss.
How's it going, Dave? Everything coming out all right?
Speak up,
I have my
please.
answer. Found it. Hang on a sec. I'm ready to give my answer.
This is a long piss.
Ready to give my answer. Are you ready?
This is really good.
There it is. That's my answer.
All right, so I need a final answer here.
In the series, just think of something with a series.
Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs.
Incorrect. I'm sorry. That's Paper Mario Color Splash. Paper Mario PM.
You're making up games now. You're making up games.
I was just about to pick
Hey, it's not my fault you guys don't play Nintendo games.
Holy cow. I was 6 weeks away from playing.
All right, so what's the final score here? There's one question left.
My balls at 10. My dick at 8.
So they automatically lost, but let's...
I think we should give the last question to them for them maybe to be able to win it. What do you think?
My balls are ready to answer and take this. Give it to us.
All right. So if you guys don't get it, I'm going to give them a chance to get it.
That's fair.
Okay. So the user review says, beans, man. You can plant freaking beans.
Farming Simulator 17.
What Mike said.
You guys are absolutely correct. Yes. Farming Simulator 2017. So my balls has won this first live taping of
Sack flap.
the beta test. See if I can mic that. Do it again. So Gamers in Beta wins the first taping of the live beta test, along with Jugglers and Geese. So give me some parting words here for how does it feel to be a winner?
My balls are titillated.
I feel like I'm hanging low.
Splunge.
I demand a recount.
Hey, it's not my fault you don't play video games, man. Come on.
It's a farce.
All right, so thanks for listening to this. I apologize if the audio quality sucks, but thanks for hanging with us. And that is the end of the first live taping. And can we get a final score, Vanna? I just want to hear you say dick and balls again.
My balls is at 13. My dick is at... I think I made a mistake.
Wait, recount.
What is my dick at? Don't leave me in suspense. All right, so my balls clearly took the lead. All right, I guess that's the end of the taping.
All right, again, that was the beta test live from the Red Roof Inn. Lots of laughs. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Thanks to Corey for putting all that together. And my apologies to Corey for forgetting my fabulous recorder. We had to go with the phones instead, but we got by, and like I said, lots of laughs.
Yeah.
Let's dive into what we've been playing. Joe, you haven't been on in a few weeks, so tell us what you've been up to.
Oh man, super predictable.
Pokemon.
Yeah, you got it. Pokemon Sun and Moon released a couple weeks ago at this point, and wouldn't you have it, that's what I've been playing. It's very Pokemon. It's very good, in my opinion. It's definitely it's improved since the last couple. They actually made a significant change to how things work in the game, to where in the past you've always had to use what's called HMs. HMs, which stand for hidden machines, that teach these moves that can be used on the map, like strength, so you can move these giant boulders, or fly, so you can fly from city to city. They got rid of that, which is awesome, because in the past your Pokemon only gets 4 moves to use in battle, and you would have to permanently overwrite one of those move slots with one of these HM moves. Which, it doesn't make for optimal battling, because you don't get to use the best moves possible, because you always have to have at least one Pokemon in your party dedicated for these stupid just menial tasks, right? Mm-hmm. Well, in this one, they got rid of that, and they basically just said oh, well, sorry, but in the Alolan region, it's illegal to use moves like that because it messes with the atmosphere or whatever it is, some shit like that. So what they give you is something called a ride pager, and as you progress through the game, you just get different Pokemon with different moves basically associated to that ride pager. So you can page in a Tauros, which is like a giant bull, and that gives you the option of just riding on the back of it, which works so you can go really fast, and it smashes giant boulders that are in your way. Or you can call in a Charizard, which works as your fly, and you can fly to wherever you want. So That is a very much welcome change. It's definitely a huge improvement. A lot of the new Pokemon are really cool. A lot of the changes that they made to the older Pokemon, having the regional variants is really cool. And the one gripe that I have with the game is, even though you have people on your friends list on your Nintendo DS, it does not give you a way to directly just contact one of those people and trade or battle them. They have to like randomly pop up in your festival plaza, basically, and you have to have passed them in the festival plaza while connected to Wi-Fi to be able to interact with them. And then once you see that they're in the list of someone you've interacted with, you can then add them to a VIP list to save them. And this just seems very roundabout when I should be able to just, oh, this person's in my friends list, let me contact them and trade. It's very annoying. I have some Pokemon that I can only evolve by trading right now, and I have a couple people who are willing to just trade back and forward, and I can't fucking find them. It's very frustrating.
I've seen Los make posts about this, and I've seen other people on Twitter. Similar people seem to be frustrated with that as well.
Yeah, super dumb. Not into it. But what can you do? Everything else, top notch. Loving it. And then I have been playing Pokemon Go, as we alluded to earlier, and it's good. It's gotten a couple updates here and there, but most recently it got this update to where in the bottom right you can click on this tab and it shows you what Pokemon are nearby. And now it's basically gives you this little circle behind them with an actual snapshot of the Pokestop that they're near. And so basically you just, as long as you're familiar with what Pokestop that is, you walk over there and that Pokemon will just immediately pop up and you can catch them. And then, they swapped out what Pokemon are where, and so it's easier to run into something that you want that you haven't run into in the past, just because they randomized or they cycled the availability of stuff. So there's definitely been some good changes, and I'm very happy with everything Pokemon right now.
I saw someone, I think it was Damien from Dad's Getting Grounded, deleted it off his phone. They did some sort of change to the thing. I think he was calling it something like the Suburban Lockout or something like that. I can't remember exactly how he was describing it. But they did some sort of change that affected the way he could play for his region, and so he was quite upset and deleted it off his phone.
That's weird.
No.
I mean, I know that they made it so even if you say that you're a passenger, because you're going
that's right. He couldn't do it while he was driving.
Yeah. So I was listening to the 8-4 podcast a few weeks ago, and they actually addressed that. It wasn't big news, and it was mostly just an update that the Japanese government kind of pushed on them because a kid got ran over by somebody that was driving and playing Pokemon Go. And so it kind of it got pushed on them like, hey, you need to regulate this more because people are now dying. So, and after that happened, they basically disallowed you the ability to check in at Pokestops or catch Pokemon while you're driving above 25 miles an hour, I believe it is.
Right, that's exactly what it was, yep. So he's a police officer, he knows he shouldn't be texting or Pokemon while driving, but he deleted it off his phone.
Well, that's a bummer.
All right, Jay, I see on your list you've been playing Darksiders Warmastered. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, this is the remaster of the original Darksiders, which I did play on 360 and finished. And I started playing this and noticed that the graphics are definitely improved. You can still see the original kind of art is there. It just seems to be a little brighter and a little sharper, but it still looks like the original did. and I'm playing it through it, and frame rates are great. I'm really enjoying playing the game, and it's still one of my top games. I really enjoy playing this game, so this is the one that I am currently trying to play through and finish. Not get all of the achievements, but finish through the story. While you're playing through, you're gonna, it's very much hack and slash, but you have to learn to use different combinations and stuff for the different monsters or demons that you have to defeat. So going through there, I've forgotten a lot of what I had before, so I'm relearning a lot of it. And probably one of the biggest negatives to the game is you got to backtrack a lot, and you'll have a little marker on your mini map that will show you kind of where you have to go. However, it doesn't really show you when you're looking around yourself which direction you need to go, and you can get lost sometimes and not know where you have to go. So sometimes you'll go back through and not realize you have to backtrack, and you'll go backtrack and then realize you have to backtrack even further. So, for me, that's probably the biggest negative on it. But other than that, I thoroughly enjoy the game. There's some platforming too, kind of more like Tomb Raider, where and Drake, where you're climbing on the cliff faces and stuff like that. But you can see where you can grab on and move around, and where you can crawl along, and you can slide down cables and ropes and stuff like that. So really enjoying the game. I know you've been playing it too. What's your impressions?
Well, I fired it up yesterday for the first time, and I do agree, especially on my new Samsung. It looks very good. Runs pretty smooth. Gameplay is a little old and dated, but I think the game ramps up the more you get more abilities and powers unlocked. So it's definitely a game that feels to me like they reward you the longer you play the game. It's a little dry in the beginning, but I think I'm getting to a point now where I'm going to get a little bit more powerful.
One of the things I've always loved about that game is it's very much God of War meets Legend of Zelda.
That's what I've heard, and I hadn't played either of the other two. So
I see. So the upgrade path to be able to, you get like a hook to be able to do something.
Right.
So that's very Zelda.
Yeah, as you go through the game, you're always unlocking new weapons and powers and stuff. So it's I think that it keeps you going, because you're always using something new, and you can upgrade your weapons the way you want too. You can unlock different moves and stuff like that. So you may play differently than I do, and I guess one of the biggest bonuses to this is it's $20. It's well worth it. If you've never played it, it's well worth $20. I mean, that's a steal. So, and that's on PlayStation and Xbox One. I believe Mike is playing on PS4. I'm playing on One, and we both also have it on PC, but have not jumped on and played, because if you had the original Darksiders on Steam, you get the Warmastered edition. They will upgrade you for free.
Yeah, it's a standalone. It's a different game too. It's not like they went into the original and updated it. It's its own different entity in the Steam library now.
Yeah, it's a whole different game. Yeah.
Sort of like they do with BioShock.
Yep.
So, anything else on Warmastered? I know I have to keep playing, but so far I think it gets 2 thumbs up from us.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, it's one of my favorite games. It always has been. So, that pretty much covers it. I played a game called Maize on the PC. Didn't really know kind of what it was. I just really liked, the description they had was, it's kind of, if you like Monty Python and humor like that, you'll enjoy this. And I've gone in, and it's kind of a walking simulator, point and click in a way. You go up to stuff, select it, and go in. And I didn't really know what it was, and I'm kind of going around and figuring things out. And basically what it is, you just go to walk around and find things and solve puzzles and, kind kind of figure out, like, you find a key, you go up to the door's locked, you're going to go find the key. So you go and search around, you find the key, you come back, unlock the door, you can go in, the door opens it up so you can go in and search and find more stuff that you have to combine together and to solve, simple puzzles and move around. So I haven't gotten too far into it, but it seems like a kind of a low budget game in a way. I mean, there's not a lot there for selections. You have to play it in Windows mode right now. But even though it seems kind of a low budget, the graphics aren't bad. But in the way it plays, it's very simple. You can't interact with everything. There's a lot of things. I'm so used to these games out there now that you can pretty much almost interact with everything with these walking simulators. This is not the case. This is pretty much you can interact with the stuff that you need to, which is kind of nice because it makes it easier to be able to solve these puzzles. You're not able to just grab anything. But it's compelling, and I want to continue playing it. So I guess they've done a good job for an indie game. So I'll continue to play it and follow up.
Now, you're playing as that... what type of character? Are you actually playing as a corn?
No, it's a third-person view. You don't see anything.
So you can't tell what you are if you're
You don't know what you are. No, don't know what you are. Just drops you in this corn maze, and you start walking around.
The only reason I asked if you played as an ear of corn because they keep showing that talking corn thing.
I believe that's a character, and that's what was confusing to me. They dropped me in, and I'm like, there's nothing. I haven't interacted with anything, and I think I've played an hour. And I've interacted with nothing so far. So, other than, things that are in the environment, doors,
right.
latches, turn the knob, open this door, grab this bin, do that. But I've seen no characters yet, and I know that it's populated with characters because the trailer shows it. So I'm waiting to get to that section. So,
all right.
And again, I've only played an hour. And then we mentioned Shovel Knight earlier. I started playing a little bit of it. I grabbed the Wii U pad and figured out how to get it switched over so I could play on the Wii U pad, and started playing. Man, that game can be pretty brutal.
Definitely.
That's a controller chucker.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's what I've been playing.
Cool. So the only thing else that I've been playing that I can talk about, I've been doing a lot of testing this week, so obviously I can't talk about that stuff. But the only other thing was Killing Floor 2. Jay watched me play a little bit of that yesterday on the PS4. Again, horde mode game, various different types of enemies come at you, zombies, crawling bugs, chainsaw zombies, big fat bloater type guys, and yep, there's 6 players that you can play with online, and there's an upgrade path that you can go to after every round. You can either go in and sort of tell the system to auto-upgrade you, or you can make the selections yourself. Various different character types that you can play, like a medic, assault, a bunch of others as well. So I'm still playing that. I've yet to finish a whole game. It seems like anytime I play it, I have to jump off mid-match, which probably pisses off my online players, but that is life these days.
When I played that at PAX East, those rounds are long to play through that. They last quite a while. So, yeah. But I'm compelled to want to pick this up because I really enjoyed playing it, and having 6 players makes it really compelling to want to play it. But I'm just curious how many people are actually out there. I don't want to go and buy it and find out that, it'd be just me and you. So
yeah, I know Shona from Gamer Husbands wants to play, but I don't know anybody. And I think Jeremy from Dad's Getting Grounded wants to play the original on PC to try it out before he buys Killing Floor 2. I'm not sure what the original goes for on Steam right now, but I know that's what his plan was.
I had a lot of fun with the original back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, this seems to be much more, much more sophisticated, with a little bit more polish to it, obviously. But like I was telling Jay yesterday, it does have a sort of like Valve look to it, right? It's got a little bit of a flat. I mean, there's detail in the game, no doubt, but it's got that very much that Valve art style to it. So if people are drawn to things like that, Counter-Strike's a little flat looking. It reminds me of games like that, Left 4 Dead.
Does it use the Source engine?
I'm not sure. I'm not an engine guy. We had a lot of engine talk tonight, but I have no idea.
Sorry.
So that's going to wrap up what we've been playing this week. I have tons of other stuff to get to, and I hope to do that this week. But let's talk about what is coming out this week. The notable releases for the week. First, we have Ark Survival Evolved. That's going to be out on the PS4 this week. So finally, the PlayStation people will be able to run around naked, chop wood, and tame some beavers, right, Jay?
Yes, and this isn't early access. This is actual release, right?
I think so, yeah. I don't think they have too many early access, if any, on PlayStation.
Correct. So it's nice to see it's getting a release finally.
Mm-hmm. The Last Guardian, can you believe it, is coming to the PS4. So within 2 weeks on PlayStation, we've had Final Fantasy 15 and now The Last Guardian.
Holy smokes.
It's crazy.
I am not dying to play this game, but I'm dying to see what the reviews are.
Yes.
I totally want to check it out, but alas, I do not have a PS4 at the moment.
Mm-hmm. And then lastly, Dead Rising 4, the Xbox One and Windows 10, and I am almost positive this is a Play Anywhere title. So check that out if you like. And of course, during the week I tweet out more of the indie stuff when releases are coming out, so tune into our Twitter account for that. Let's dive into some more news items here. Mech Warrior 5.
Now we're talking.
This is called Mercenaries, has been announced for 2018. It's the first single-player experience in 15 years for a Mech Warrior title. You guys have played the Mech Warrior games before?
Yeah, I played a couple of them.
Yeah, I played 2, 3, and 4, and the expansion for 3. I think 3 was probably the best iteration of it. We used to play the heck out of it. We play online, too, on PC. We set unlimited ammo. I'd grab the smallest one they had and load him up with as many machine guns as I could put on it. And just run around and own people. It was a ton of fun. And then they came out with a Pirates expansion, and we had even more fun with it. And then Microsoft purchased it, and they put out MechWarrior 4 and removed a lot of the hard points where you could put weapons and stuff like that, so you couldn't really modify them and do a loadout of your own. You had to kind of take a basic one, so that kind of scattered a lot of the players. And that was probably the last online Mech Warrior. I mean, not online, but one that had a single player in it. So I'm kind of eager to see how well this comes out, because there is Mech Warrior Online, and I did try it for a little bit, but I didn't really enjoy it that much. So I'm hoping that this is done well. And who's doing this?
This is Piranha Games.
Piranha Games, yeah. No idea. So
the news came out late on Saturday night. I'm not sure what was going on, if it was just another event sort of tied to that weekend where they could do, the Game Awards, PlayStation Experience. And, by the way, while you're there, come to this, Piranha Games.
Check this out.
Check this out somewhere. So,
the video, there's a video. Hope there'll be a link in the notes that you check it out, or just do a search for Mech Warrior 5 and check out the video. It right there will give you a good idea if you want to try and play it, because it shows you a lot of the gameplay, and it looks very compelling.
All right. Next, we had some Prey talk. We mentioned that a little bit earlier, Jay. This is going to be the Game Informer cover for January. So Game Informer has a rather large spread on this. This is the new game from Arcane, which, of course, just released Dishonored 2. And people saying that this game is sort of a mix of a whole bunch of games. Mass Effect, Thief, Dishonored, BioShock. It's kind of got all those influences thrown in, and it has its own spin on those types of games. There's a 10.5-minute walkthrough that you can watch, which to me looked excellent. So this is a first-person action game just with all those other elements that I just mentioned in there. What do you think? What's your thoughts on this?
It's interesting, but my question for you two, to kind of back it up a little bit, is: did either one of you play the original Prey?
No.
Nope.
I had it when I bought that. I got Prey free when I bought that. What was that game that Dan Amrich did a lot of work with? He was very close with those people from Canada. They put out that sort of action game where your guy could, there was a 1 and 2 of the game. It was like a destruction.
Oh! I know what you're talking about.
But anyways, whatever that game is, when I bought
guy with the leather jacket on,
right?
Yeah.
When you could buy that game, GameStop was giving you Prey free.
Oh, really?
I have the first one on 360, but I don't think I've ever played it.
Oh, it's well worth the play. I enjoyed it. I played it all the way through. It's just now this new one, I don't know how it links to it, and it'll be interesting to see. But if I disregard the previous one and don't try to use an impression from that toward the new one as a new game with new game mechanics and play, it does look very, very interesting and a game that I want to check out and keep it. I'll be keeping an eye on it. So,
the sequel to the original Prey was in development for like 8 years, and Bethesda canceled it in 2014.
I think it got canceled twice.
So this is a reimagining of the first one. So a first-person shooter with role-playing elements. Looks like there's probably some stealth in there too. I got a little bit of Dead Space vibe in here, a little bit as well. So to me, I'm very interested. This is going to come out early 2017, somewhere around Q1, Q2. But just if you got time, if you got 10 minutes or so, check out that walkthrough. There's some really good stuff in there that I enjoyed. A lot of cool weapons, in-game mechanics that I thought were really unique. Next item here that Jay teased a little bit as well is this game called Dauntless. It's coming to the PC. It's from the devs who used to work at BioWare as well as Blizzard. It's got, not a realistic art like something like Prey that we just talked about. It has more of its own unique art style. It's an online co-op action RPG. I think the tagline they're using here is Untamed Science Fantasy World. You play as an elite warrior known as Slayer, and you're fighting against enemy creatures known as behemoths. Jay, you brought this up a little while ago. Did something strike your fancy when you were watching?
No, it just I noticed it when they had announced it, and it just came out of nowhere. Never heard of it. It's coming out to just PC, and then it was one of the world premieres they had on the Video Game Awards. That just it seemed a little out of place. You never heard of it. You didn't really know what it was, but it was in with all this other stuff that you knew about or had heard something about, or was people are very interested in. And this one just kind of seems like it was an announcement, and people are like, huh? And I was one of them.
It's a game, a new studio, Phoenix Labs, and it's got its own art style. I mean, I don't know what it seems to be borrowing from. Maybe there's a little Overwatch in there, a little bit of I can't remember the other game I'm thinking of there, but it's the characters have their facial features are. I'm not sure if Firewatch is accurate, but it seems to be borrowing from some other stuff. But it's doing its own thing. It looks pretty cool. Again, a lot of this stuff is just cinematic. We're looking at, not actually looking at in-game play, so it's tough to tell. But for a game that doesn't have realistic artwork, so to say, like something like Uncharted, where this is more like hand drawn, it looks pretty cool. But the test is always the in-game play. How does that look? But co-op could be fun. Who knows? But soon enough, we'll find out. It's coming out sometime next year. Like Jay said, PC only for now. Probably something I would imagine that would come to consoles. It looks like it lends itself to the console experience.
Yeah.
And let's talk about free stuff for a little bit here. The PlayStation free games have been announced. We have for November, December 2016 for PS4. We have Color Guardians, Invisible Ink, Stories, Path of Destinies, and Tiny Troopers Joint Ops. That Tiny Troopers game will be available on all PlayStation products, meaning the PS4, PS3, and Vita. Out of those ones we just mentioned, Invisible Ink is by Clay Entertainment, the people that do the it's that game where you're out in the woods.
There's a lot of them.
The name is just right there. They put out a whole bunch of them. They just recently, Corey plays them. They just put a new iteration of it on the PS4.
Don't Starve?
Don't Starve, thank you.
Oh, yeah. I play that too. A little bit. I die a lot.
And the one you guys would maybe like, Jay, is Stories, Path of Destinies. That's an action RPG game. You might enjoy that one. Check that out. And let's see, for the PS3, we have Hyper Void, and for the Vita, Color Guardians, as well as V, whatever that means.
I have that on my PC and never played it.
V times 6.
So many Humble Bundles.
Yes, exactly. That's what it came in, was one of the Humble Bundles. I was like, I don't know what's in here.
I think it's like a gravity-defying platformer with a bunch of spikes, I think. If it's the game I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I think I tried to play it and I couldn't get it to work on Steam, so I don't know.
And the last bit of news here from the Xbox is Crackdown 2 is rumored to be coming out holiday 2017 or earlier. So I'm thinking this might be a Scorpio launch title. Too early to tell, but it will run 4K on the Scorpio. So I know there are some Crackdown folks out there. Crackdown 1 was certainly better than Crackdown 2. But it's been a long time since people have been able to play a Crackdown game. And your wait is almost over. Just a couple more months.
Bring it!
Yep. Let's get into the plugs and wrap this bad boy up. Again, the Festivus was a lot of fun. I want to thank RoboPig, Holy Goalie, Catwood, Jay, Juggler of Geese, especially for letting us use his hotel room to do the game show, and of course Dave's guest. I know Jay was poo-pooing the expensive prices, but besides that, it was a great time, good conversation.
Oh, that was a great
lots of laughs. And like to do it again sometime down the road. And Joe, thanks for making an appearance. Your presence was felt throughout the night. We had lots of laughs. And
thank you for having me, honestly.
And thank you for taking that in stride. Lots of fun. Jay came down from Maine, and he came bearing presents. So he was able to go to a BJ's. That is like a wholesale club, not a place where you can get fine lip suction.
I was a little disappointed the first time I found out what it actually was.
So at the BJ's Wholesale Club, they had these PS4 Elite controllers. And many of us thought these controllers were just sort of photoshopped because they're such a knockoff of the Elite controller that's out there for the Xbox. I mean, almost exact same design, except just in the PS4 DualShock 4, look and feel. But Jay found them, and they were reasonably priced, I guess, unless it's complete junk. We'll find out sooner than later. $65 at BJ's. I think on the manufacturer's website, they're $150. So almost half off there, a little bit more.
Yeah, they've been selling for about $80 and $90 as their normal price through other retailers when they have had them, which has been very rare. I think Amazon only has like 16 reviews on it.
So we don't have any reviews actually, but we can confirm that they do exist. Like I said, many people thought they were just sort of photoshopped because they looked exactly like the Elite for the Xbox One. But Jay did not get one for himself. I told my wife that she bought this for me as a Christmas gift, so I might have to wait to Christmas to open this up. We'll see.
Yeah, I was looking into it, and the one thing that I did find about it was that it doesn't have an audio jack on it. So you play with your PS4s with what, the A40s, so or with the golds. So you don't.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm in my office, I'm just playing with the Astros, so that doesn't matter because that's all optical.
Right.
If I'm out of my family room, often than not, I am not playing multiplayer, so I don't need headphones.
Yeah. So for me, because sometimes I do use headphones, I opted to not pick one up because I was going to pick it up today, and then.
But you just use golds for the PS4, so.
I use golds, and sometimes I switch over to my headsets. So, depending on what I'm doing. If the golds die, I plug in a headset, and if I'm playing with this controller and I've forgotten to plug in my golds, I don't have like you just go to your A40s. For me, the option I have is I grab my headphones that I use for my with my phone, and I just plug in with that. So.
Alrighty, and the other thing I want to mention is the Luke Cage. The second season has been confirmed. They've been renewed. So I know that's good news for you, Joe. You were a Luke Cage guy.
Hell yeah.
I have to get back. I am just terrible with watching TV. I need to get back to that. I think I stopped after episode 2 or 3. And not because I didn't like it, just because I don't watch a lot of TV. So I need to finish that. How many episodes is that approximately? Somewhere around 8 to 12?
Yeah, I think it's less than the others. I don't think it got a full 12.
Yeah, because I think I've got one more left to listen to. So
cool. Well, that's all the plugs for me. Besides, there's new episodes of Dad's Getting Grounded that just came out, and there's new episode of the 40 Cast. So make sure you download those as well. Joe, how about yourself?
All right. I'd like to thank you guys. Once again, I am back on the podcast, and hopefully, it's not another 2 weeks before I'm back on, but, well, it can't be, because we're going to have to do Game of the Year at some point, am I right?
Yes, and I think we're also up against Christmas, and Christmas falls on a Sunday this year, so obviously we would not be recording on Christmas. But yeah,
yeah.
We will probably do our Game of the Year maybe next week if I can get organized tomorrow or Tuesday. Otherwise, we're looking at the 18th, the week before Christmas.
Get out pooping gear.
But one thing I wanted to say is on the Future Monkeys recently, not like super recently, maybe like a month ago or something, Lo said that everybody should check out this podcast called The Message. And so I gave in and I checked it out. I don't think anybody else did, but I did. And it's actually really fucking awesome. You remember that podcast Serial? So it's a lot like the style of Serial, but it's fiction. And it's about these researchers that discover this or they're hired by the government to uncover it, or decrypt, I guess you could say, alien message that the military had found in the 70s or some shit like that, 60s, 70s. And then the message basically is killing people, but they had already broadcasted it out to people via a podcast. And so now they're all, I don't know. It's crazy. It's really good listening. There's only 8 episodes, and they're only 15 to 20 minutes a piece, so it's not a long commitment. So you should check it out.
Excellent. Anything else, Joe?
No, that's it.
That's it. Okay. Jay, how about yourself?
Alka-Seltzer cold and flu. I'm going to push that. That's really great. It's coming in handy right now. Apologies. I've been pushing through this. I'm exhausted from going to Festivus and driving down and then driving back and then working all day and fighting this cold off. The Alka-Seltzer cold and flu is definitely a plus. Luke Cage was 13 episodes. I am on 12 right now, so I should be finishing that up soon. And I do recommend watching it. Not so much. I don't think the fighting choreography was as good as Daredevil, but I do enjoy. I think it's got a good story to it. And let's see, Kowloons for having us and bringing whole bunches of scorpion bowls to us. And the food was delicious. And all the people that attended, thank you very much. And Joe for being there virtually. And Mike for making the mask, because we had a ball with that.
Boo hiss to Sean for not showing up. Come on, Sean.
Come on, Sean. Yep. And yep. And I want to put it out to Gamehounds. That's Holy Goalie Dave. Him and his wife came down, and then they brought their friend also. So we had a good time, and
Skank Hunt 42.
Skank Hunt 42, yes. Shout out to Skank Hunt 42. So we had a good time with all them, and Good for Gaming. Dave Robopig, he skipped out on his son's first high school. Or first of the season high school hockey game, so he could come hang out with us. So thank you very much for that, and for all you do with Good for Gaming and the Child's Play charity. There's the shout-outs for that, and also all the listeners. Thank you very much, and our fellow podcasters. Thank you for that, for listening and being there, and the mentions. We appreciate it. And for all the listeners, if you do really enjoy us, give us some ratings on whatever podcast app you may be using. So,
well, hopefully everybody's in the mood for Christmas, getting in the holiday spirit. And that's it for episode 180. We'll be back next week for 181. Jay, take us out.
Until next time, same beta time, same beta channel. Hopefully, we all get better. See you! I think I got it.
All right.
I think I got it, so we'll go in order. Yep.
So you're last, Jay. I flopped you.
Yes, sir.
All right.